Previously on Fabulous.
I think the point I'm making is that we should always step back and look at who is my child.
Yeah. Outside of me.
What do they want to do? And especially when they start getting to the teenage years and they start finding themselves. And then if you are not careful, that's when you start knocking heads, because then you become aware of this separate being who is not part of you, who is trying to find themselves. And then if you are not careful, then the horns will start locking and then you have all of that conflict.
Hello, you're welcome to another episode of Famous on Leader Freak TV on YouTube. We're here to speak with Sharon Kyomgisha, who is, actually will let her tell you about herself because she's a mixed breed of a person and a personality from different places. Some adopted, some natural. So I'll let her do all that that introduction of herself to you. We just met physically, but I just love her soul. And I'm privileged to be sitting here with you today to talk to you. So our channel, you've already watched our channel and familiar with it. And we basically share our life stories to support and aid people to live their best lives. So you're welcome, Sharon.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I almost missed your name.
Oh yeah, a little bit. You tried.
After all the practice.
You know, exactly. But you got it. Yeah. So
tell me, let's start with your name even before you tell us about yourself. So what does it mean? Kyomgisha.
Kyomgisha, it means something of luck. Something that has luck. Yeah. So
you're a lucky person.
I am.
Okay.
I chose to identify myself like that.
Okay, yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So why did you, so basically what, if I'm hearing you correctly,
yeah,
this is not your assigned name by your parents?
No.
So at what point did you change this?
I was about 12.
Okay.
12 years old. And, you know, I used to go to school, primary school in Uganda.
Okay.
And everyone had kind of names relating to their tribe or their dads or something. Because my dad wasn't there.
Okay.
He was in exile most of the time.
Okay.
Politics. So initially I should have got something like Mutoni, because it's Rwandan and my dad comes from Rwanda.
Okay.
So, but my mother didn't give me that name for some reason, although I was told about it by my grandmother.
So what was the reason?
So, I don't know, I think she chose to name me Kasangaki.
Okay.
Which means, what did she find?
Okay.
Yes. And it's from her tribe in Uganda. And because my grandfather had been dead for 1 month before I was born. My grandfather died in June and I was born in July.
Okay.
So it was like, what did she find?
Okay.
So when I grew up, I was like,
that's interesting.
How come everyone is having names of their fathers or with their tribe? And me, I'm not, because I'm not my mother's tribe. For that matter, even I'm of Rwandan tribe, I'm a Tutsi to begin with in the origin, but now we just say we are all Rwandans.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I reached that level of about 12, I just had to tell my mom that, Mommy, I'm not happy with this name. I haven't been happy for a long time with it. From today onwards, I'm Kyomgisha. At least it's from the West. And the West is close to Rwanda.
Okay.
At least I want to have that sense of belonging. And that's how I got Kyomgisha. Then she said, okay, if you feel like that, no problem.
At 12?
And I started using it since then.
Okay, so all your documents are Kyomgisha?
Yes.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
See where the names, everybody has a story, eh? And our names reflect our stories.
You know?
So I like that very much.
Thank you.
So now tell us a little bit about yourself outside of your name. I know while you were telling us, we already know that you're a pathfinder because you don't conform to the norm.
No.
You question the status quo. So all of this have come up already in like a minute.
Oh yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your journey.
My journey, can you summarize that?
So in terms of your journey as a mom,
Oh, as
I
a
just
mom.
found out you have a
Yeah.
19-year-old.
Yeah, I have a 19-year-old. She's in college in Scotland.
And you don't look anything like someone with a 19-year-old. As
I
a
know.
compliment.
Thank you so much. I am
Yeah.
40 myself. So
Okay, lovely, lovely, lovely.
so that's what happens sometimes when yeah. But anyways, I had my baby when I was a little bit young. I was almost 22. So I grew up in a family of 3. I have
Okay.
2 siblings.
Okay.
So we had a very, very, very humble background. And sometimes it was extremely hard even to get through with the rent of a simple room in a slum.
Okay.
That's the poverty I can describe. And then myself, I dropped out of school.
Okay.
When I was, I think, about 15 or something like that. I dropped out because my mom didn't have money.
Okay.
But again, my stepdad, the father to my 2 sisters, had some money. And when they split, so he had to continue supporting his kids, but I did not get the support there about. I think it was more of adult differences. So anyways, then I dropped out of school. I stayed at home for some years, you know, just figuring out with mommy, how do we sleep, what do we eat, and you know, things like that. But then I continued hustling and wanting to go to school, but it wasn't easy. Like I've said, I dropped out. 2 years, nothing, and I had to figure out life and forge it. So in the process, when I was almost 18, that's when I met with the dad of my daughter.
Okay.
And yeah, one thing led to another, and yeah, so I had my baby, and yeah, it just kept on moving like that, you know, and yeah. You're probably wondering, because I'm a bit educated now, you're wondering.
Yeah, you're not a bit educated, you're very educated. So we'll come to that. But I want our viewers to understand something. So there's I like your transition periods, and they're important. Transitions are important to me because I think we miss a lot if we don't pause to recognize that we're shifting from one period to another period. So then what tends to happen is that we're just moving. But at 12 is a very significant age, because you're just going to be entering your teenagehood. So the period between 0 and 12, basically you're being molded, you're modeling after your parents or whoever is the most significant person in your life. So they have a shoe, you want to wear it. They basically are your hero. So for you, 0 to 12, what stood out for you is that I want to change my name. I want a sense of belonging, which is even characteristics of the teenage years.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then at 15, you dropped out of school.
Yeah.
Then at 18, you have a baby.
Yeah.
No, you meet the dad of your daughter.
Yeah.
So these are very significant transitional periods. How did you manage them, and how did you move from there, especially given that you're saying we're talking about education? How did you manage these transitions to go back to school, because you really wanted to go to school? So at what point did you become overly educated?
And it is very, very sad that when I dropped out of school, it was, I think, the 2nd term of school, and I had been one of the best students in class, and but I just saw myself not going back. So, and the tricky thing was actually that that term I didn't go back. My stepdad had even bought me necessities to take to school. To take to school?
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it that you didn't know?
I thought I was going back. I thought mommy would fix it, but in a way, she tried, but she didn't. She failed, yeah. So anyways, I spent time, and I always tried to associate with people who are of a certain class. I taught myself like how to speak good English, and I always tried to associate with the people of class. in my adult world, because even the dad of my daughter, by the time I met him, he had a bachelor's I didn't have. And
Okay.
later on, he got a master's. I was still figuring it out, you know.
So you've been also very aspirational.
Yeah.
I'm just picking all the adjectives I'm picking from your life. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, it kept haunting me because I kept on standing for places of politics, like counselor, and lying that I had education.
Okay.
I kept on masquerading. You know, people always thought I'm educated, and you know, speaking. They spoke to me like an educated person, and I was good at writing, especially with the poetry and all that. So when I wrote, they really thought I was educated.
But you are educated. See, that's like, I always like to make a distinction between schooling
Yeah.
and education.
Yeah.
Because you taught yourself to speak.
Yeah.
Well, you taught yourself to write.
Yeah.
You taught yourself.
Yeah.
That's education.
Oh,
and
yeah.
sometimes I feel that as a nation, as a country, globally,
Yeah.
we missed a lot during COVID because we kept saying the children were out of school and they can't, but they could have been educated otherwise.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just feel that we miss that completely
Oh, yeah.
as a people, because we look at sometimes, or we've been cultured to look at education from one lens.
Yeah.
So
And
you
also
were
my
educated.
My mom was both educated and literate, because she was an accountant in a bank before she chose to be a housewife.
Okay.
And before she knew they were going to separate, and things turned really bad, especially for me, who was like in her handbag. Yeah, exactly. So anyways, then I met the father of my baby, had my baby. I didn't know much. That's why I encourage girls to hold on to have babies. You know, because you're young, you need your life, you're a child yourself, so you don't know so much. How can a baby birth a baby and nurse a baby? Because when I look at myself at 21, well, to be precise, when I had her, I think I was still a baby, really.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know how to work even a relationship, to work it out. I didn't know much, but he was very supportive. His sisters, his mom, everyone, and very supportive of me, and in the process helping me change nappies and stuff like that, because I didn't know it really. But yeah, I remember giving birth. I mean, it was definitely a hard process, you know, the pains and all that, but it just happened. It's one of those things, when a baby is ready, a baby will come out. They will not stay.
They would stay.
No.
Were you prepared for the process?
Yeah, I was prepared for the process, because he was so kind to me. Okay, I would say maybe he loved me, although we aren't together at the moment, but he loved me. And but I was maybe slightly a little bit hard to love, because I didn't know really. I was young. I didn't know love. I feel I didn't know. Could I do it otherwise, I would still have the same baby, but at a later stage.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't change her for anything, but just at a later stage.
Next on Family.
Easier when I'm saying it, or, you know, it's hard. It's hard work. You know, it is real.